All right, everyone. So I'm here with the legend Pete Rizzo, one of the. That's it, right?
Yeah, Pete Rizzo. Yeah.
Pete Rizzo, one of the many authors of the Bitcoin and American Dream. Go ahead and tell us who you are, Pete. Introduce yourself to my audience. Let them know you're the GOAT.
Yeah, Pete Rizzo, go by Rizzo on Twitter, editor of Bitcoin Magazine, been a Bitcoin journalist since 2013, co-author of Bitcoin and the American Dream, out now in bookstores with several other co-authors in the space, making the case for Bitcoin as a nonpartisan form of money that the United States should be excited about.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to nonpartisan money, I know it's like a lot of people, the theme of this conference, one of the many things that seem to be like we want people who are Bitcoiners to speak on Capitol Hill, not having politicians who make up their thoughts on Bitcoin. And my thing is like, you can't create a problem with the same mindset. You can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. And I feel like that's a lot of what a lot of Bitcoiners want to see. Bitcoiners able to speak on that issue. So could you add in a little bit on that?
Yeah, it's really helpful to have perspective on the industry and present it. We were just in DC promoting the book, and I think, I was talking to staffers, and they don't even know that it's Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? They think it's just 15,000 competing coins, and really the book was about getting out the message. This is Bitcoin and the American Dream. This is focused on Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin is separate from all the other cryptocurrencies. You got to remember, these are staffers working for politicians that need to be educated and informed on hundreds of issues, everything from what's going on in Ukraine right now to what's going on in Canada, and they have very little time. So the book really is about condensing the message. Like, look, it's about Bitcoin. It's about economic freedoms, and freedoms is something that America should support and historically supported. So it makes that case in a pamphlet that you can read on the train from New York to DC, home to your district.
So we definitely appreciate that, because having the correct voices to influence these decisions matter. And more importantly, what I believe is we just need to start having Bitcoiners become candidates to be inside. Just in the whole. Let's lobby up, let's get our politicians together. No, let's just be the politicians, get the folks in there who can be those politicians in the space.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there's no shortage of politicians who are looking to get an edge of Bitcoin. I think we would hope, though, that they become a little bit more sophisticated with it, right? We've seen some politicians take confusing positions, right? They're pro-Bitcoin, but they're against proof of work mining. But yeah, I think what I'm really most excited about is just, the jobs that the industry is creating now with Bitcoin, especially with proof of work. You have, these massive businesses that are moving down to Texas, revitalizing these towns, creating jobs, creating infrastructure. Because really, I think in the book I touch on this. I think, one of the great, myths in American history, or one of the great, issues that I think that we really care about is that the country's really seen a huge decline in manufacturing, right? There's all these traditional cities and towns that were built up around steel work and coal work and iron work, so they have these great infrastructure in terms of, massive buildings, huge power, and there's no buyers for that now, right? And the Bitcoin mining industry emerging as something that, they can move into a town, they can invest millions of dollars, they can create these kind of jobs in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, right? Like places where if you're a Silicon Valley tech company like Facebook or Amazon, you're not hiring people in these places, right? You're not creating hundreds of good paying jobs in rural Georgia, right? So I think the politicians need to kind of quickly get educated on just how big of an impact Bitcoin is having, and specifically where it's having an impact, because I think Bitcoin is not your average tech startup. It's not a tech unicorn that's just benefiting New York or San Francisco or Boston, hometown, shout out.
You a Patriots fan?
Yeah, we're in mourning still.
Yeah, look, I'm a Patriots fan. I've been a Patriots fan since '97, so
okay, lots of years, yeah.
Yeah, so we're good. So man, listen, I appreciate this. Respect more from Pete. Hopefully we can collab some more. And until next time, Pete, you got anything you want to say?
Check out the book, Bitcoin and the American Dream, available on Amazon. Read this review, send it to your friends.
All right, thank you, Pete.